Most of us, we feel some kind of financial stress, right? And we're always told it's our fault. We're just bad with money. But what if that's a total lie? What if the real problem is that we've been thrown into this massive, high-stakes game and nobody ever bothered to teach us the rules?
You know that feeling? Lying awake at 3 a.m., your mind racing, wondering, am I falling behind? You see other people seemingly cruising along and you're just treading water, trying not to sink. I'm telling you, you are not alone in feeling that. And today, we're going to figure out exactly why that is and, more importantly, what we can do about it.
All right, so here's the plan. First, we're going to look at the shocking reality of where most people are at with their money. Then, I'm going to lay out the 7-level wealth game. This is the roadmap. We'll go through each level step by step, and I promise by the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand and what your very next move should be. So first things first, before we can even think about finding a way out, we've got to understand the financial quicksand that so many people are stuck in. And honestly, the reality for most folks is way more shaky than you'd think. The numbers, they're pretty startling. And look, this isn't just a low-income thing. We are talking about almost half the country. That includes people making 6 figures. Think about that. One missed paycheck and they can't cover their bills. It is a razor's edge for sure. And get this, $1,000 emergency. I mean, that's not even a huge deal, right? A car repair, a surprise medical bill. For more than half of all people, that's enough to throw their finances into a complete tailspin. It's not a safety net. It's like walking a tightrope without one. Just look at this breakdown. It's pretty wild. Over half the population, 56%, has less than 3 months of expenses saved up. And that big slice there, 27%, that's people with literally nothing saved. 0. That right there is the definition of being financially fragile. And this is why so many people feel like they're stuck in mud. Even people earning a ton of money get trapped. Even the best savers feel like they're just spinning their wheels. See, the problem isn't just about your income. It's about not having a roadmap. It's playing without a strategy. So that brings us to the good part, the solution, the map. You see, building wealth isn't just this one long straight road. It's much more like a video game. It's got different levels. And each level has its own mission, its own boss to beat, and yeah, its own cheat codes to help you win. So here it is, the 7 levels of wealth, from survival all the way up to legacy. Now here's the critical part. Most people get stuck for years, sometimes their whole lives, because they're trying to use, say, a level 4 strategy when they're actually on level 2. It just doesn't work. Knowing exactly which level you're on, that is the absolute key to finally moving forward. Okay, let's start breaking this down. We're going to tackle the first 3 levels: survival, stability, and security. Think of these as building your fortress. It's all about defense, moving from total chaos and stress to a place where you actually feel in control. This is the foundation. You got to get this right before you can do anything else. All right, level 1, survival. This is where you're constantly putting out fires. Money is a source of pure stress. An unexpected bill isn't just an annoyance, it's a full-blown crisis. And listen, the goal here is not to get rich. The goal is to get honest. You have one job: track every single dollar. No judgment, just awareness. You have to see where the money is actually going so you can stop the bleeding. Okay, now level 2, stability. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You're not drowning anymore, but you're not swimming towards shore either. You're paying the bills, you're staying afloat, but you're just stuck. It's so frustrating. The cheat code here isn't trying harder or using more willpower. It's automation. Set up an automatic transfer to savings the minute you get paid. Automate your bills. You basically trick yourself into making progress without even thinking about it. And then you hit level 3, security. Man, this is a game changer. It's a huge psychological shift. This is where you can finally breathe. You've got 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. That car repair happens, it's an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. You just handle it. And this is where you start investing at least 10% of your income. You're not just saving anymore, you're actively building your future. All right, so you've built your fortress. Your defense is solid. Now the game flips entirely. We switch from playing defense to playing offense. This is where things get really exciting. This is where you start to accelerate. Welcome to level 4, growth. This is where you start to feel the magic of compounding. Your money starts making money, and you develop this thing called money consciousness. You start to see that a $100 purchase isn't just $100.
it's the thousands of dollars that money could have grown into. You're not just thinking about your next paycheck, you're thinking about the next decade.
And this is the biggest hurdle for a lot of people. It's a total mindset shift. In the early levels, you have a scarcity mindset. You're always asking, can I afford this? But at level 4 and beyond, you develop an abundance mindset. The question changes. It's not, can I afford this? It's, does this align with my long-term goals? It's a totally different way of thinking. And honestly, it's harder to change your mind than it is to change your bank account. Then we get to level 5, freedom. This is where money stops being about survival and starts being a tool for living. Your emergency fund, it's not for emergencies anymore. It's an opportunity fund. You have the freedom to quit that job you hate, to start that business, to take a risk. The work here becomes less about spreadsheets and more about soul searching. You have to ask yourself, what do I really want out of life? What's my worry-free number? Okay, we're heading into the final stages of the game now, level 6 and 7. This is where you've completely won the game for yourself, and the focus shifts outward. It's not about you anymore, it's about your impact. It's about what you leave behind. Level 6 is abundance. At this point, money is just not a stressor, period. You have what are called no-budget zones. You go out to a nice dinner, you don't even look at the prices on the right side of the menu. But it's not really about buying more stuff. It's about having the mental space to focus on what really matters. But here's a funny thing. Some people get here and feel a little empty, which is what pushes them to the final level. And that final level is level 7, legacy. This is the ultimate endgame. It's where you realize true wealth isn't what you collect, it's what you contribute. It's about building something that will outlast you, whether that's through charity, mentoring the next generation, or creating opportunities for other people. The focus shifts completely from how much can I get to how much can I give. Okay, we've walked through the entire map, from the very beginning to the ultimate endgame. So now, the most important question comes back to you. It's time for a little self-assessment. Where are you on this map right now? And here's a secret that might surprise you. The biggest jump in happiness in this whole game, it isn't going from $1 million to 10 million, it's going from survival to stability. That feeling of getting out of constant stress is a bigger life changer than almost anything else. That's why mastering your current level is so important. That's where the real relief is.
It's so easy to get obsessed with how much you make, right? Chasing that big salary, that big net worth number. But that's not the point. Real progress comes from knowing what game you're in right now and playing by the right rules for that level. So I'll ask you again, what rules are you playing by?
So here's the takeaway. Stop playing someone else's game. Stop listening to advice that's meant for somebody on level 5 when you're on level 2. Get brutally honest about where you are, figure out the one thing you need to do to beat your current level, and then focus everything you have on that. That's it. That is how you get unstuck. That is how you finally change your life.